Welcome into Steelers Talk. Today, producer Coop has given me, or is going to be giving me, a lot of different Steelers scenarios and hot takes, and I'm going to tell you whether to buy, sell, or hold stock in that particular Steelers hot take. Before we get into it today, go ahead and give me a follow on X if you guys haven't already. I provide you guys free and informative Steelers content right there on my X account. Whenever there's breaking news, I usually react first on Twitter before I come up on here. So if you guys want to check me out, at Jack_Sperry for informative Steelers content, you can find me there. And then also we put out short-form content for you guys here on Steelers Talk on our IG account. So you guys can find us there at SteelersCS if you want a daily blast of Steelers short-form content. So with that, I'll bring on producer Coop here. First scenario here, Mr. Coop.
Is Pittsburgh starting QB in 2025 on this current roster right now?
This one's an easy one for me if you've been watching the channel. I think that it's going to be bye, all right? I think that Russell Wilson will be your starting quarterback in 2025. It's being well reported right now that the Steelers intend to sign Russell Wilson to a multi-year contract after this year. Now, what we don't know is how long the contract will be. We do know Russ wants to play another 5 to 7 years in the National Football League, so we'll see if he can do that. But I expect more of like a 2 or 3 year contract for Russ on his next deal, and it'll be interesting to see if he takes a hometown discount to allow the Steelers to fill out their roster a little bit more. But yes, I think Russell Wilson will be the starting quarterback of this team in 2025, barring a major injury or if he just straight up sucks for the rest of the season.
All right, so the Steelers declined Najee Harris's 5th-year option, but do you still think he will be a Steeler next season?
You know, Najee's had some great stretches this year. He's kind of gone back to what he was doing before that star level stretch. So there's still a lot of season to go. I do think that the Steelers would like to bring him back, especially at the right price. But I'm going to go hold here because I like what he brings to the table here. He is that bruising running back that Arthur Smith loves to have to really wear out an opposing defense by the fourth quarter, so that this team, when you get into that 4-minute drill situation, can close out a game. But if he continues to have that low yards per carry, I like him a lot. I really want him back next year, but they did decline his 5th-year option for a reason. If he's not completely justifying his role in this offense, I don't know if the Steelers will bring him back. Next one here, Coop.
It's a weigh-in, brother.
Oh, never mind. What say you guys? Will Najee Harris be a Steeler next year? Buy, sell, or hold. All right, F. Sperry in the chat for messing that up. But give me a buy, sell, or hold for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And when that happens, take advantage of that time by typing F. Sperry or buy, sell, or hold.
All right, so this one has been a hot topic on Steelers Twitter lately. Is JPJ overrated? Is he as good as Steelers fans think he is?
So I've saw some people in Brown's Twitter talking shit about JPJ because he's got like a 57.5 PFF grade or something like that. But like
Jerry Jeudy did torch him.
Yeah, but that was in the snow.
That's true.
Right? And I think that JPJ has shown consistently throughout his 2 years in the league to this point that he can shut down number one guys. All right, he's got long arms. He's physical. I think that he plays with actually really good technique within that kind of physicality. Now, he does get called for holding at times. In the snow, he didn't have his footing against Jerry Jeudy, who's an excellent route runner. I'm going to say sell on this one, man. I think that he is really as good as we say that he is. I think he's a bona fide number one shutdown corner in the league. Now, is he a top 5 corner in the league? I wouldn't go that far. Is he top 10? Maybe. But, I definitely think out of the top 32 corners in the league, I think you have to put him in that conversation for sure. Definitely a great fit for the Steelers defense. Before we get into the rest of the scenarios today, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Fanatics. And if you guys want to get a brand new Russell Wilson jersey for either yourself or someone you love this Christmas season, you guys can go to chatsports.com/Russ. If you guys use that link and you guys make a purchase, we're going to get part of the proceeds. Fanatics is going to send us part of the proceeds. So if you want to get us a little bit of a Christmas present here for yourself and also for us here at Steelers Talk, go ahead and go to chatsports.com and make your purchase today.
All right, let's get into some potential trade rumors. The Steelers will trade a notable defensive player like Alex Highsmith or Minkah Fitzpatrick this coming offseason.
This one's tough, man, because you do have I think a little bit over $70 million to work with in cap space next year. You eventually do want to balance the scales offense, defensive spending. But if you know anything about Pittsburgh, man, they like their defensive players.
They love defense.
And like, I think they love Fitzpatrick because he completely takes away certain portions of the field because quarterbacks just don't target near him. I'm going to lean sell here. I think they're going to keep all their defensive players as expensive as they are. I think they will re-sign Russell Wilson. Honestly, I think this team next year is going to look very similar to what it looks like this year. You don't have a lot of super high-end free agents hitting the market. You can supplement the ones that do leave in the draft. I think that the Steelers are in a pretty decent spot right now, so I'm leaning sell towards trading a top defensive player.
I think I already know your answer to this one, but do you think the Steelers are in danger of missing the playoffs?
I mean, this is one that is being talked about a ton on Steelers Twitter after they lost to the Browns. Oh, if they lost to the 2-8 Browns, how could they beat anybody else? It's like that is such a prisoner of the moment type of mentality because what happens when this team plays good teams? They win. They're 5-0. They have the most wins this year, 5, than any other team has against teams with multiple or with a winning record this year. All right, the Steelers are alone, only team in the league with 5 wins against teams with a winning record. So I'm super selling this. Steelers are going to make the playoffs this year, guys. I know it's a rough end to the season here, but I do think that this is absolutely a stretch. Cincinnati and the Browns for sure. I think they can win these next 2 games, and then I think they can beat Cincinnati at the end of the year too at home. So we'll see what happens here. You have to win You have to win 2 more games the rest of the way to get to 10 wins and pretty much punch your ticket into the playoffs. I think that they're more than good enough to get that job done. I think they make the playoffs for sure this season. So before we get into the rest of the scenarios today, make sure you click that subscribe button if you're enjoying this type of content here. We give you guys free, informative Steelers content every single day, guys. And also when there's breaking news this offseason, we'll be going live for that. And then also it's all 100% free. So right now we are closing in on 70,000 subscribers, guys. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already to help us get to 70K.
Wait, how many subscribers do we have?
70K, baby. Let's go.
Let's go!
All right, we're getting close here, Coop. Next one.
All right. Can the Steelers win the whole damn thing?
So the question is, can they? All right. So when I hear can they,
that doesn't mean will they.
That means what? Is there even a 1% chance the Steelers win the Super Bowl this year? And I think there absolutely is. It's relatively smaller, but every team has a small chance to win the Super Bowl every year, right? There's about 7 or 8 teams every year that could win the Super Bowl. The Steelers are one of those teams. They can control the clock. When their offensive line is playing well, they can run the football very well. They can throw the ball down the field. They can beat you on defense, and they can beat you on special teams, and they're well coached by a guy that has done it before. All right, Russell Wilson also very clutch in the fourth quarter and has a ton of playoff experience. So, are they favorites? I'm not going to say they're the number 1 team in the NFL or they have the highest odds to win the Super Bowl, but are they in that mix of teams that could feasibly win it this year? I'm going to tell you to buy stock in that, baby. We are title contenders, although we may not be title favorites.
Last one. Should the Steelers fire Mike Tomlin this season?
Come on, Coop. You should have known my answer to this.
I'm just saying.
Right when you wrote this, man. You guys know that I am a fan of Mike Tomlin. Now, I am also not afraid to call him out on his bullshit when it comes to the game management aspect of the game. When he doesn't use a timeout correctly, when he doesn't use personnel correctly, all these different things that he tends to do, and he has been legitimately bad as a game manager in his career as a head coach, he still brings an excellent culture. He brings an excellent level of leadership and mental toughness to this locker room that time and time again delivers consistent winning results here in Pittsburgh. And when you give him a good quarterback, he wins postseason games. And I think Russell Wilson is going to show you guys that this year. Like, who are the guys that he has lost with in the playoffs? All right, like obviously, like an older Big Ben, and then you had Mason Rudolph the other time they made the postseason, right? Like, yes, they've lost with prime Big Ben too, but the playoffs are very fickle, man. You lose once and you're done against the best teams in the league. The postseason is so difficult to win in. So if you're completely basing your evaluation on Mike Tomlin just based on that, I think it's a little bit short-sighted, and it's really not taking account the big picture of what he brings to the table. Plus, he's a great defensive mind that has made his defense work with a number of different players with a bunch of different skill sets and lots of different personalities. He's a leader of men, and he's a great defensive mind. He's not the best game manager in the world, but guess what? Some of the other guys in this league, cough, cough, Kyle Shanahan, cough, cough, Dan Campbell, lots of guys in this league don't have that as a strength either, and they're still top head coaches. I know. Okay, so here's another one, Coop. F. Sperry in the chat again. Let me know down there in the comment section. Is it time for Pittsburgh to move on from Mike Tomlin? Simply give me a yes or a no. down there in the comments
I think
section.
the answer is no.
Coop says the answer's no. I say the answer's no. What say you guys? After an 8-3 start, should the Steelers fire Mike Tomlin? Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. Make sure you click that subscribe button to support the show and get this free and informative Steelers content in your feed every single day. And until next time, guys, here we go, Steelers.